This meeting is called to order. Exactly 1 year ago today, the landmark Supreme Court decision in Massachusetts versus EPA made it clear that the EPA had to address climate change issues. The Court held, first, that greenhouse gases are pollutants that can be regulated under the Clean Air Act. Two, that under the Clean Air Act, the EPA administrator must judge whether these emissions cause or contribute to air pollution which may reasonably be anticipated to endanger public health or welfare. And three, if the EPA administrator does make a positive endangerment finding, it must regulate greenhouse gas emissions from motor vehicles. In May of last year, the President directed EPA and other agencies to prepare a regulatory response to the Massachusetts versus EPA case. In June of last year, Administrator Johnson told the Select Committee his response would be made public by the end of 2007. The response was to consist of an endangerment finding and a regulatory proposal to regulate these emissions from motor vehicles. Although depositions by congressional staff and media reports indicate that EPA completed its work and submitted its proposals to OMB and other Federal agencies for review, EPA did not release its work as planned. In January, when I requested that Administrator Johnson appear before the Select Committee to update us on EPA's efforts, I also requested these documents, which the Administrator initially agreed to provide. However, shortly before last month's hearing, and again during his appearance before the Select Committee, Administrator Johnson made it clear, both in writing and verbally, that the EPA would not provide the documents after all. The EPA's reasons for not providing the requested documents are flimsy and lack merit. Indeed, the EPA's purported reasons have been recognized by no committee of Congress as a basis to withhold documents, regardless of which party or member was sitting in the chair. The excuse of not providing documents because they would be confusing to the public is invalid and borderlines on insulting. And it simply is no answer to say that the documents are pre-decisional. That provides no lawful basis for a refusal to supply documents relevant to a lawful congressional inquiry. I had expected to resolve this dispute with the Administrator without having to resort to this action. But I'm disappointed to report that EPA has made no effort to accommodate the Committee's request and has done nothing but repeated excuses that are without legal meaning. The members of the Committee should know that I do not take the issuance of a subpoena lightly. In my 32 years as a member of Congress and my many years chairing subcommittees in both the Energy and Commerce and Resources Committees, this is the first time that I have ever found it necessary to issue a subpoena. But the EPA has placed us in that position, and so we must go forward. The Select Committee has both the right and the responsibility to obtain these documents so that we can understand exactly how EPA is planning on responding to the Supreme Court's landmark decision. I urge my colleagues to vote to uphold the rights of the Committee and the House by supporting this motion. That completes the opening statement of the Chair. The business before the Committee is to consider a motion to be offered by the Chair with respect to the issuance of subpoenas to the EPA. The Clerk will read the motion.
Resolved that the Chairman of the Select Committee on Energy Independence and Global Warming is directed to issue subpoenas to the Administrator of the Environmental Protection Agency as necessary to obtain each of the following documents.
I ask unanimous consent
One,
to
the draft regulatory proposal that was prepared.
I ask unanimous consent to suspend the reading of the resolution. It is all and without objection. So ordered. The resolution will be considered as read. Are there any other members seeking recognition for the purpose of speaking on this resolution? Chair sees none. Are there any members seeking to make amendments to this motion? Chair sees none. Then the question before the Committee is whether it will adopt the motion to authorize the Chairman to issue subpoenas to the EPA. The Clerk will read the roll.
Mr. Blumenauer. Aye. Mr. Blumenauer votes aye. Mr. Inslee. Mr. Inslee votes aye. Mr. Larson? Mr. Larson votes aye. Ms. Solis? Ms. Solis votes aye. Ms. Hertha Sandlin? Ms. Hertha Sandlin votes aye. Mr. Cleaver? Mr. Cleaver votes aye. Mr. Hall? Mr. Hall votes aye. Mr. McNerney? Mr. McNerney votes aye. Mr. Sensenbrenner? Mr. Sensenbrenner votes aye. Mr. Shadig? Mr. Walden? Mr. Walden votes aye. Mrs. Miller? Mr. Sullivan? Mrs. Blackburn? Are there any other members seeking permission to vote? Mr. Markey?
Votes aye.
Mr. Markey votes aye. The total is 12 votes aye, no, 0 votes for nay.
Then the motion is agreed to. The staff is directed to draw up the necessary subpoena powers in consultation with the House Office of General Counsel and will cause those to be served on the EPA administrator. And copies of those documents will be delivered to every member of the committee. And the committee thanks all of the members for their cooperation. And with that, we will turn to the other business before the committee.